So in the course of about 10 minutes, I went from sitting at my desk, having a cup of coffee, checking some emails, to getting dressed, getting on my bike, getting out the door, and this was at 6:30 this morning. Was not part of my plan, was not part of the agenda. I wanted to ride a little bit today. Wasn't really sure how my legs were going to feel. Turns out my legs were a little bit tired, but this is sort of what happens when real life dictates what your plans are going to be, which is kind of the name of the game. Also kind of the name of this whole project. This is the durability project. My name is Aaron Shaw. I'm a concierge health coach, strength and conditioning specialist, and competitive cyclist, despite being in my 50s. And this is a behind the scenes look at what it's like for a coach to try to take some of his own medicine. And that means that I am showing you what it's like to really kind of just deal with what all my coaching clients deal with. And that is, I can put something that looks great on plan, great on my smartphone app, great on the calendar, and then real life says, that's not going to work. That's not going to happen. That was this morning. That is also very typical. And so I had to roll the punches. So what happens is, I was hoping to get in an hour of training today. Just endurance ride, just a little something to get the legs moving. My legs are still pretty sore from the past couple of days of training, but I wanted to get in some endurance, and I had that as a probably on my calendar. But then wife got up and she had a list of plans. I had a list of plans. The weather was sort of turning, and I realized that if I was going to get out, I had to get out immediately. So I went from settling in to being on my bike literally 15 minutes afterwards. Still really early in the morning, but I knocked it out. The good news is that my power numbers are actually pretty good. So I stuck it in my zone 2 heart rate, but my power range was more like in zone 3 or so. So that's showing signs that I'm getting fitter, which is great. My legs are still really sore, but I knocked it out. So that was an hour done, and I'm setting myself up for tomorrow, which my plan is to do an interval session tomorrow. The stars are going to have to align a little bit. It's going to have to be first thing in the morning, which is not like the most ideal time for me to do it. But again, you can take your ideals and your goals, and they are going to be at conflict. So that's sort of the nature of the beast. Then also, as you can see behind the scenes, real life happens still as I've worked all day. As soon as I get home, I had a full day of work. Still got more work to do. And in between all that, prepping for some camping. So I'm going to do some altitude training up in Breckenridge. And we're also going to do a night of, or basically a full day of hiking up to 14,000 feet or so in the coming weeks. And this is all in preparation for the Foco Fondo gravel event, which is not at altitude, but I'm training for that with my gravel bike. And then 3 days of the Breck Epic, which will be in 7 weeks or so from this recording. So I'm trying to get fit, and I'm trying to balance life, and I'm trying to balance the curveballs of shit has to change immediately if you want to put your training in. Motivation be damned. Finishing your first cup of coffee be damned. And that is truth in advertising. That's the way things work. So the good news is I got it done. Proud of myself for getting it done, because I could have kind of gone either way. I could have just said, "I forget, I'll take another day of recovery." But I knocked it out, so that's good. So tomorrow will be, if all goes well, and I shouldn't say it like that. I want to say I'm going to make this happen. Tomorrow will be a day where I get in at least 4 solid intervals of 4 minutes in length, 4 minutes in duration. And that's going to be super hard, super challenging, but it is going to help build my VO2 max, which will come in handy for these events that I have coming up. So that's the plan. So if you have any questions about how to navigate real life with training plans, real life with sort of the best of intentions, hit me up. I'm on both sides of the fence here. I develop training plans, coaching plans for both gravel riders and mountain bike riders and middle-aged people who want to be healthy and fit, want to lose weight, want to gain lean muscle. That's what I do, but also I do that not only as a coach, but also I'm just a dude who's trying to be healthy and fit. And so that is truth in advertising. This is a durability project. If you have questions about how you can be more durable, let me know. And tomorrow you can check in with me and see, did I really do these intervals? Did I really dig super deep? Time will tell. Subscribe. Thanks for following along.